Hi there, thanks for watching our YouTube channel at Shelly's Beauty Studio, and my name is Shelly. In today's episode, I want to show you the difference between the Shellac Gel Enamel Kit and the Jamberry Gel Enamel Kit. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, well, which one should I use or which one is the best one to use? So I've left two fingers blank here for you to demonstrate for you how we're going to do it, and so that way you can see the difference as well. And so the kit comes like this for the Jamberry, and the Shellac comes like this. I'm just going to put this aside while we work on the polishes. So with these gel enamel kits, they do need a light. So this is the Shellac light, this is a UV3 light, and it also works for the CND Brissa gels. So this is a multifunctional light for a few of their different products. This is the Jamberry light. So as you can see, it's a smaller product, it's more compact, and this one is an LED light. So you'll need both, and this one, Jamberry, only has one kind of gel enamel at the moment, so this will be for that gel enamel. Both of them you need a top coat and a base coat, and of course your color coats. And I will start with the demonstration so that you could see at the end of this video if you could tell a difference between which one is which. Before you begin your application, you want to make sure your hands are clean, and also your nails are filed and your cuticle work is done before we begin. So I always have a bottle of alcohol here. CND does make the Prep Scrub Fresh, which is a prep solution that's blue to use right before any of the gel applications. However, if you don't have that, that's okay. You can just use alcohol. This is 70% isopropyl alcohol. I find that very, very effective for a lot of things, and it works just as well. So we'll use lint-free cotton. So if you have that, you can use that. Today I don't have any on me, so I'm going to use a paper towel. I'm going to demonstrate with a paper towel how to use the alcohol part to wipe down your nail. So I would just pump a little bit of alcohol. The pumps come in so handy for nail products. So for both of the nails, I'm going to do one of each gel on. I'm going to make sure there's no oils left on there, and that's how you wipe down with alcohol. And that's the purpose of it. So there's no oils there so that the gel can actually adhere properly to the nail bed. And you want to make sure the alcohol is dry. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to shake up all my polishes really well, because with any of the gels out there, you have to shake it up really well. Otherwise, sometimes it doesn't come out as a true color, or sometimes they separate inside in the bottles. And that's also why the bottles are all protected from the light. Gel is very, very sensitive, so that's why they're always in UV-free bottles that are dark. And we just want to give it a really vigorous shaking. So if you want to overshake it, overshaking it is definitely better than undershaking it, okay? Alright, so let's start with the base coat. I'm going to start with the Jamberry side first, so then you can see the Jamberry nail first. So we'll start with the base coat. And when you're applying it, you're just applying very, very thin layers, because if you ever applied a gel too thick, it actually really wouldn't work. So we're going for as thin of a layer as possible. And you want to coat the whole nail, and sometimes I just do a last swipe on the edge of the nail. And I'm always very careful to not drip around the bottle, because I always like to keep my stuff neat. And now when we turn on the lamp with Jamberry, you just press the one button you have there, and then you turn it on. So normally I would do all my fingers with the base coat and then put it in, but right now, because we're demonstrating one, I've just put one in, and this will be 45 seconds in the lamp, and the lamp will automatically shut off. The lamp should be shutting off at any moment now, and if you've noticed, I've kept the lamp directed away from my face. So you don't ever want to look directly at the lights for either machines, okay? So that's done, and we're going to do the color coat. Now for color coat, for either system or any gel system, again, you want to keep the coats as thin as possible. So it's actually better for you to have 3 really thin coats versus 2 or 1 really thick coats. Because what would happen is if you had a really thick coat, it would actually just not stick, and it could possibly fall off on you as you're wearing it throughout the days or weeks. So I want to be super careful. This one is a darker color. This one is their color called Black Cherry. And we go for the first very thin coat. And I always like to have a handy cuticle stick ready to clean up the cuticles if you need. So very carefully putting it back in. With my cuticle stick, if you need to clean up the cuticles, you can just clean it up now. And so as you can see, this is uneven, it's not opaque, and this is the first coat. So you can just keep it like this. This is fine. And if it looks like this is totally normal. So again, back in the light for 45 seconds. With either light, you shouldn't feel any discomfort or anything. If you do, the light is defective. You might feel the ever slightest amount of warm heat, just very, very minimal. Nothing that should burn you or harm you or hurt you in any way. And that's done. And then we go for our second coat. I'm not sure we'll need a third coat for this, but we will soon find out. So sometimes, no matter what color you're using, or you just don't know if you're gonna need 2 coats to give it opacity or not. So being very close, you don't want to touch your cuticles, because if it gets on your skin, well, then it's not on your nail, right? And it will eventually just come off, but you don't want to cure that under the light. Okay, so this is pretty opaque. If you want to leave that as a 2-coat application, you can, or a 3, so it really depends on what you feel like. For some people, I think this would be okay. So back into the light. And then I just wanted to talk about some of the differences with the 2 systems. They're both gel, so one is known to be 5-free, and this is known to be 3-free. So the difference would be 5-free, meaning there are no five, I guess, pretty harmful chemicals in this system. So that means there's no toluene, no DBP, no formaldehyde resin, and no camphor. So that makes Jamberry 5-free. And then with shellac, it makes it 3-free because it has no formaldehyde, no toluene, no DBP. So that means it does contain the camphor and the formaldehyde resin in the shellac kit. So they're both good in the sense that one's 5-free, one's 3-free, so they both don't have the harmful chemicals, but that would also be part of the difference. So I'm just going to do a third coat for fun. I guess with 2 coats, the color will look a little bit brighter, and then with a third coat, it would look a little bit deeper. So I will just do it just because while we're at it, why not? I just want to make it a little bit more creamy looking. And then last sweep on the tip. And they're both removed the same way with acetone wipes. And again, this is my third coat at 45 seconds. So now we need to do our final top coat. Now that the color coats are done, you can see it's very shiny, it's looking very nice already. So now we want to do the top coat to seal all the color in and do the final cure. The top coat is a little bit gooier, so you're going to have to work with it to try to get a thin layer on. And make sure you, even though it is a little bit gooier of a layer, make sure you coat everything underneath it so that way it all cures properly. And again, we go back into the light for 45 seconds. Alright, So now that we've done all the coats that we need, it's ready to be wiped down. So both sets, you're going to wipe it down again with your handy alcohol on your lint-free wipe, and you just do a final wipe. Because after all the coats have cured, there will actually be a bit of a film, I guess you would call it, on the nail. And once you've wiped it gone, then it stays and it's shiny. So throughout your wear as well, I find that if for any reason, I notice that with gels, if they ever get a little bit dull looking or something like that, if they're not as shiny, all you have to do is add some alcohol and wipe it down and it gets all shiny again. So I guess that's the gels cure all. So that one's done, and we'll begin with the shellac one. So shellac, we begin with our base coat again, and we'll do that. These are all new bottles, so they're just a little bit tighter to open. So again, you just paint it like a base coat, again in a very thin layer. And then with the shellac lamp, you'll see that it has different options here on the top. You want to turn on the power. Because it works with the Brissa light as well, the shellac top coat is 10 seconds for the first cure. So I have it on for 10 seconds, and then now I'm going to press on. And then I'm going to stick my hand in and not look at the light. So I find with both lights, I'm not looking at the light, but I'm still trying to look at the camera. So with both of the lights, I find that they're very, of course, they're very ergonomic for the hands, but they're also great for the feet. You just stick your whole foot in here, or you just stick your toes in here. Very easy to use. So this one, what color am I doing? I'm doing Studio White for this color. I'll just apply it on here so we can see the contrast better. I picked these colors actually because I wanted to do some cool Halloween nail stuff afterwards. So these colors are picked for that reason as well. Halloween is coming up. So this, again, you use a very light coat. As you can see, it's not opaque in any way. And this is our first coat. And for the second cure, for the, I guess, first color cure, after the base coat with shellac, you have to choose the 2-minute option. All the other coats take 2 minutes to cure. So again, it's base, color, color, and top coat. And these are all movable, so I don't have to look at the light. I can still look at the camera and move them around while I'm still curing it, as you can see. What else was I going to say about it? It's done. Alright, so now that's done, the shut-off timer automatically shuts off, and your one coat is done. So now we're going to go for the second coat. Again, we're going to go for a very, very thin coat. So this one, we could, because of the opacity, we could probably get away with 2 coats, and we don't need a 3. Generally, for the polishes colors, it's generally 2 coats. It's very rarely you need 3. Just depends on some of them. Oops. And then your trusty cuticle stick to remove the excess so that doesn't get onto your skin. And now we go back to curing it at 2 minutes. So as you see, the shellac takes longer to cure than the Jamberry, because every Jamberry cure is, I'm just trying not to look at the light, that's all. Jamberry cure is at 45 seconds. This one, each coat is 2 minutes after the initial base coat. And so that's the main difference. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I think that's probably because this one has the 2 extra chemicals in it, and maybe it needs a longer time to cure those, but I'm not sure. So I can't quote me on that. I'm just wondering, maybe. Since this one is missing 2 more chemicals. So maybe that makes it cure faster, I'm not sure. And also about the cost of these machines. So the Jamberry kit, you get, your starter kit is actually a really good deal for the Jamberry kit. You get your base coat, your top coat, this black cherry color coat, so they gave you their signature color. It looks pretty much like this color. The lamp and cuticle oil. You get some of these sticks. You get a buffer. So this is the TruShine kit, how it comes. And let me just get this out so you can see it a little better. So in here you have the buffer, the Jamberry buffer. These are the alcohol wipes you can use if you're, on the go and you don't have your pump bottle with you. Those are your alcohol wipes. This one was the cuticle oil, and you get a nail file, which I'm missing here, the Orangewood cuticle sticks, and you also get a little box of packets to remove your wraps with. So this whole set is $144 Canadian plus tax. In the US, I believe it's $120 US. And they do charge for shipping. I don't know how much the shipping in the US is, but it's cheaper in the US than in Canada. Because in Canada, the shipping is $15, I believe, for this kit. So it's $144 plus $15 shipping. And I think the New Zealand, Australia prices are kind of close to the Canadian prices. So that would be the prices for Canada, or outside of the US, I should say. It's gonna fall. And then now that we have the second color coat on, we're done. We're gonna do the base coat. I have the shellac top coat on. I'm gonna pop it in again for 2 minutes. And then with the shellac machine, for price-wise, we're talking about, so I'm gonna speak in Canadian prices just because I'm in Canada. I don't really know the US prices too much for this one. And I also bought this machine a while back, so I don't really remember exactly the pricing for US when I did see it back then. So this machine for the lamp, so this one doesn't come in a kit. It's all purchased separately. You do need your salon license here to purchase that in Canada. And this machine is $188, I believe was the wholesale price I got it at. And each polish, so whether it's base coat or top coat, cost here, I think it's like $22, it ranges between $22.99 to $28.99 for each of these coats. So you'll need top coat, base coat, and whatever colors you want. And then you would buy your nail files and your cuticle sticks separately. The prep, the blue prep solution, I do have that in the back, but I didn't bring it out today. That is maybe $20 for a little bottle, so then it would replace your alcohol. And then you would buy the acetone packets as well. Some people actually just put acetone on cotton balls and wrap it in foil. You could do that method. The Jamberry ones are actually pretty cool. They have it in a more ergonomic packet that seals itself a little bit better than the shellac one. But there's lots of many methods to remove it, so you can remove it any of the ways that you feel suits you best. And yeah. Alright, so our 2 minutes is up, fully cured. I'm just going to put these aside so you can see what we're doing here. I'm going to rip another piece of my paper towel. I just want to wipe down the shellac one. So with the shellac one and the Jamberry one, I'm just going to look at it first to see if I can tell a difference. I can't really tell a difference. Again, I always like to look like that and also test it by pressing on it a little bit. I always like to test. So these would be the two. I don't know if you could tell a difference, but this would be the two different gel enamel systems. And that's what it looks like. So to me personally, because I've worn both, I would say the shellac one feels just ever slightly harder, maybe by, I don't know, like 1%. It's such a small difference, but it's something that I would have noticed. But I don't know, everyone's different, so most people might not notice a difference. Either way, they both won't scratch, they're both dry to the touch, and they're both, you know, you remove the film with the alcohol. It's a pretty much kind of very similar system. All gels are kind of similar like that. So I hope this video helps you in determining which one would work best for you. I haven't tried mixing the two systems together, but I'm guessing if you mixed it, it might work as well. So I'm not sure, but maybe we'll try that next time. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and found lots of good information from there and helps you with your decision in which one you would like to try. All right, so thank you for watching, and please give me a thumbs up if you like this episode, and share and subscribe. See you next time.